Hey there, fools! Welcome back to another weekly diary, and so today is day 1 of weekly diary, and I just want to go on a topic of just one of the guys. Have you ever heard of the phrase "just one of the guys"? Yep, I've been called that many times in my life. And I'm going to talk about this while I take off my makeup, because as you can see, it's Halloween, and I did a half skeleton, half regular face, so I did more like a two-face type of style. But like those of us who get called like just one of the guys, there's a lot of labels going with that. Like if you enter the boys, you're like a guy's girl, you could be like a label, oh, you're like the cool girl, you're running with the guys, or you could be like labeled as a tomboy or a misfit, but that's like just one perspective of a label. And then there's other label of like, oh, you're such a slut, you're such a tease, you're a homewrecker, because you hang out with guys, it's weird. But yeah, some of the labels, and people, especially women, will get very territorial, very defensive, and think you're a target, but you're not. You're just like, you get along with guys better than girls, which is me. I definitely get along with guys better than girls because I don't like confrontation, I don't like drama, and what do girls do a lot? They do have a lot of drama and they have a lot of confrontation. So, but guys don't really have that, so I like blend in with the guys better that way. Plus, I don't know. It's weird. Like, like, I was at work one day, and they were talking about Lord of the Rings, and I finished a quote they were saying, so, like, the quote for potatoes, like, potatoes, boil and mash and stick them in a stew, sort of thing, and I said stick them in a stew, and all the guys were like, just, like, kind of, like, just looked at me, and I'm like, what? They're like, you've seen that movie? I'm like, yeah, I've seen that movie. And they're like, wow, I didn't expect you to know that movie or or like actually quote it. I'm like, why? And they're like, oh, you just don't seem like that type of girl. I'm like, excuse me? They have to have like a certain type of girl? They're like, oh yeah, because you look like, you look too girly and such, because like I wear makeup and such, I'm like, I can wear makeup if I want to, but like, yeah, you look too girly, and you look like you just don't want to watch those movies. I'm like, what? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It like literally made no sense to me. I'm like, okay then. So I kind of just like let it go, and I just kind of let it go. And then, but now I just been like thinking about it, and I'm like, I just can't stop thinking about it, and I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, why does there have to be like a certain type of girl to be able to watch those movies? Why can't like any girl or guy be able to watch a movie? Like any person be able to watch that movie? But like, I just wasn't that type of girl, and I'm like, okay. Oh, it's really weird. I'm like, so yeah, I'm like, it's been bugging me, and I'm like, But then again, I don't really understand those labels in the first place. The ones I talked about before, like the homewreckers and like the tease ones and all that. I'm like, who cares? Like, if I hang out with guys and such, like, who cares if most of my best friends are like guys, or like surround themselves with guys as well? Why should that matter? you know, but oh, this cream shadow is so hard to take off. But I just don't understand it. I don't really cast myself into those labels, you know. Look how much cream I shoving my eyebrow I made it so dark. Looks like my natural hair color. Yes, my natural hair color is black. Went off topic. I don't have any motive with having guys as friends, you know? I'm not gonna go like, I mean, that guy is my friend, like, I'm gonna go, like, I'm gonna hang out with him and have a good time. I'm not gonna, like, necessarily fall in love with him, you know? Because, like, for me, I don't really like people who have similar interests with me or similar hobbies. I like complete opposites of myself, you know? That's what I look for. And that is my boyfriend now. He's the complete opposite of myself. And I'm just like hooked onto that. I am hooked onto that opposites attract sort of thing, you know. Cause I just find it like more interesting, and you learn about so much more, and you become like more open-minded and such, you know. That's just me though. But it's so weird, like. And it's not like movies where like, oh, you're like that type of girl who hangs out with guys and you're like that cool girl and we just seem cool and you're just instantly gonna have those guys fall for you, you know? But it's just labels. It's just a label. It's just another label. But Hollywood is putting that label now. But honestly, like, I think, like, if a guy were to fall in love with a girl, like that's just one of the guys, it's because she's already likes his hobbies and such. Like, everybody wants their partner to like their hobbies and such, and that's probably why just one of the guys gets along better with, the guys get along with just one of the guys' girl, because they already know that she likes the hobbies and such, and that's why they can like go into a relationship. Oh, she's gonna like this and explore this and like all that, you know. But for like coming off with a girl who's like never done that hobby or like is not interested in that, like it's harder for that guy, you know, to go in a relationship and like express his hobbies and actually want the partner to get into the hobby, you know. It goes the same with girls. Like, we want our boyfriends or our significant others or our girlfriends or whatever you want to call your partner, to enjoy our hobbies and like spend time with us and like show them like what we like to do, you know. I think everybody's like that, but it's just easier for a guy to get along with just one of the guys' girls because they already established they both like that hobby and such, though. But I still don't like the label. I really don't. Because it goes along with the whole thing, oh, you don't look like one of those girls. I'm like, who cares if I don't look like one of those girls? Like, I don't like labels at all. I think it's the labeling that bugs me more than just, like, being called just one of the guys, you know? But, like, it just irked me so much. Yeah. And it was like hard for me going as a teenager because like social standards and all that, you know, like growing when I was a teenager in high school, I never wore makeup except for mascara and eyeliner and maybe a little powder just to like blur the imperfections, but I never like really hid them underneath foundation and such. And then we go through this whole thing where we have to act shy, you know, that stereotypical thing. I hate that thing. Or like crossing your legs, that's so proper. And like, I rather like hang my legs open, like sit like a guy, you know, like that label. But yeah, it's just like the social standards of being a girl and doing things as a girl, you know, just more labeling. I think my worst thing is I don't like labeling, but it's built into our society so much since the beginning of time, and no one's there to stop it, you know. Labeling is like one of my pet peeves, and yeah, so I thought I would just rant with you guys, and because this is what it's about with the weekly diaries. Like, I'm here to rant and see if you guys have similar topics or agree, disagree, whatever. I'm very open-minded. If you guys disagree with the labeling thing and have a different opinion on it, I'm very open-minded and would love to hear your thoughts on it. It's just my thoughts on that. I just don't like the labeling, and I think we need to cut back on it because it's built into our society so much that we're being judged for doing certain things because of the labeling and the social standards, you know. Like, for me, an example, like watching Lord of the Rings, and because I don't look the part, like I don't look like a nerd, or I don't look like just one of the guys, you know. I don't play that part because I'm into makeup and fashion and all that. But no, I love sci-fi and fantasy movies, you know, like Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite movies, up there with Star Wars and Star Trek and Indiana Jones and all those movies. Like, I love sci-fi and fantasy and adventure, and I'm not one of those girls that go for lovey-dovey movies. I despise a movie that's just like straight lovey-dovey. I'm like, I can't do it. Like, there has to be like some action or something like comedy, or like, I love rom-coms. Rom-coms are like my favorite because it's comedy and romance. It's not just like straight romance, you know. But yeah, but I'm also on the spectrum where I like makeup and I like dressing up, and I love Disney and I love being girly and all that, but I'm not afraid to throw a punch or get messy or dirty, you know. So yeah, so my problem is labeling. What are your guys' thoughts on it? I would love to know, and I'll see you in the next diary post. Bye, girls.